Some of the powers, they want blood sacrifice. That is the reason other members will die. There can be a stampede in that hall. There can be a stampede in that crusade, but life has to be lost in that particular environment. Others who are close and who've got, let's say, a particular gift. You can be a musician who's been loved by people in that church, and you are close to the pastor. As time goes on, the musician can have an accident. So they cause some of the members to experience untimely death, because those will be part of the sacrifice that these powers are looking for. I did not go only to Nigeria. I also went to Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, where I was initiated and I saw what is called Mamba Muntu. That is a half crocodile and a half human being. And I saw it with my eyes. I was not drunk. I was not under any influence. I saw it. It came. We went to the river during the night. It was a full moon. The light that was there was from the moon. As we went in that river in an island called Kongolo. So we went into the water and they did some incantation. And after doing some incantation, this being, it came as you were in the water. You are able to see during the night. It's quiet. You are able to see some movement from a distance. The water was just splashing. There was a sound and it took my concentration. I saw it was coming. I did not know what it was, but they told me that they are going to call their god, which is half human being and half crocodile. This thing came with a very powerful speed. You know, if a person is swimming as a human being, you are able to know this one is a human being by the speed. But this one, it was an extreme speed. It was coming and it came behind me at my back. It held me here. I'm talking something that I saw it. Now, I could sense that it was big, and the cloth and the hand that touched me here, it was not of a human being. It baptized me, as in putting me in the water. And after that, it gave me something like an egg, because I could not look at it because I was afraid. It gave me something like an egg. Then I had to swallow the egg with the shell. Then from then, the man did some incantation. Then it went away. The way it was breathing, I could tell it is not a human being. And the hand, I could see this one. It was more of a lizard with nails. Now, after that episode, I had the encounter where I dreamt. It was a vision, this one, where I dreamt being underwater and being given instruction. So there is a physical manifestation that is also connected to dreams. So when a person has dreams, they are connected to the physical manifestation. So coming back to the question of power, as I've said, these church leaders, Commissioner Langa, they acquire different kinds of powers. The voodoo power, it's one of the powers. And that is the reason why these days, in most of these mega churches, on their pulpits, you find that they call it decoration, but it's not decoration. They put fruits. You know, when you worship voodoo, you can do your own research. They put fruits on the particular gods. Where the god is, there must be those fruits as a sign of a sacrifice. So on this pulpit, they are very beautiful, but they are surrounded with fruits. So that is a sign to show and say, on that pulpit, it is an altar of a voodoo, because fruits in the church has nothing to do with the church. So those fruits, they are a sign that we have sacrificed, we are giving you these fruits. And after the service, they can say, everyone come and pick up the apples. And people, they will go and pick up those apples. They start to eat. But they don't know that those fruits there, they've been sacrificed to the god. Others, they even go to an extent of using what we call marine spirits, which is called the water spirit. Water spirits has a background where you can trace it also in the Bible. It comes a long way. Now, this water spirit, number one, the church where your church is, it must be next to the water. There must be a river next to the water where you are able to take people for what we call baptism. But this is not the same baptism that Jesus encountered. This is a baptism into an occult. It's more of initiation. So they use the water or the river that is next to the water, or they can even have a swimming pool in the church. If they have a swimming pool in the church, all members will have to vie through that water. If they don't have a swimming pool in the church, they can make a service, a special service where the pastor will say, I'm coming to wash your feet. Out of the blue, the pastor says, God spoke to me that I can wash your feet. And every member in the church will take off their shoes, because this is a marine kingdom that wants to influence the church. So every member of the church has to vie through that particular water. So the pastor will come and wash you. He will take his time. He's a busy man, but he has to make sure that he does that by himself with his own hands. He'll bath your feet. That is what we call the marine powers. In other instances, they use what they call do as I say. In my instance, they gave me a small horn. It was called Ashe. It's a Nigerian name. It's called Ashe. Now, with that horn that they gave me, they said before I could talk, I have to wrap that particular muti on my tongue before I go to the pulpit. So they collect a lot of powers. Others, they even bury live cows, live animals in the church, so that their church can remain as powerful as they want it to be. So attending such churches, it makes church members to be victims of these kind of powers. You go to one building, but you've got more than 20 powers and you are not aware. Yet you are the one shouting the name of Jesus, while you have been possessed by many powers in that particular church. And these powers, they work for one purpose, to bring the crowd. All they want is numbers. So they do anything that they can for these powers. And all these powers, as I have said earlier on, they've got their own characteristics.